Hey. What is going on? What is going on? We are back. We are back. We are black, melanated, and highly favored. All those good things. What is going on? What is going on? This is the No I Don't Know TV series podcast. Whatever you want to say, whatever you want to do, it's all good. Because I could never do what you do. Just made that up. You like that rhyme? Man. Let me turn this shit down. I'm about to get right into it. Shout out to everybody that's on the Corbin Plantation. Oh my God, I know how that shit is. It's not fun. It's very real, but it's not fun. Not at all. Man. So much shit going on in the world. You got the coronavirus. You got the politics and all the bullshit that go along with it. Man. I've been reading and looking at some articles. Steady reading this damn, this book, Behold the Pale Horse. It is a great book. It's a really good read. I think everybody should go get it. I know. Man. I'm struggling right now. I just got done drinking this turmeric tea with some raw honey because I feel great. But when this weather goes from 65 to 70 degrees down to 30 degrees and it's windy, it does something to my throat, to my voice, man. A lot of people been hoarse, not feeling well. Every time a nigga cough, you like, oh shit, I hope that ain't corona. And I'm not talking about the line, nigga. Shit, but anyway, man. A lot of shit been going on, like I just said. But I'm about to literally get into it right now. I ain't gonna be on here long working on some music and shit like that. Shout out to everybody. Give yourselves a hand. Shout out to everybody that's, like I said, out there doing that 9 to 5 shit because it's not fun. It's not easy. And we are all slaves. Unless you own it. For those who own their own business, much props and respect to you. But I'm going to touch on that in a little bit, but let's get to the subject at hand. I've been reading in the news, and the thing that I have not been liking is this Buttigieg character, which I've already talked about. And what I don't like about him is he had a great opportunity to discuss what his plan was going to be for Native blacks. Never discussed that. All he has been doing is caping and pandering to the LGBTQ, LMNOP, XYZ. And the thing that I don't like about that is Native blacks, melanated brothers and sisters, you are black before you are anything else. And we got to stop letting these, I would say, finessers run these games on us. And the reason why I say that is because, I was watching this thing on the Breakfast Club, and they were talking about how Pastor Troy, basically was like, no, my son ain't going to be gay because I'm influential in his life. And I don't play that shit. And I'm there. I'm not like these other niggas. I'm in my son's life. And I'm the example for my son. And what I disagree with a lot of the, pushback that he's been getting. Everybody, oh, well, you can't do this. You can't yeah. But if you read the ISIS papers by Dr. Francis Cress Welsing, it talks about the agenda and genetic annihilation and how they'll push homosexuality and the LGBTQ and all those people. They'll push that agenda on the Native black people because it's genetic annihilation. That's just another tool in their belt as a distraction and to get us to veer off. And not even that. It's just a distraction to get us not to speak up on behalf of Native blacks. And the thing that I've learned the most, too, just watching, when a black man speaks powerful about how he feels about that type of situation, he gets vilified. But why don't we have that same energy about the system of racism and white supremacy? Instead of vilifying Pastor Troy because of his belief system, why don't you vilify racism and white supremacy? It's like it's so easy for us to go at that and give people like Pete Buttigieg a pass and Joe Biden and Elizabeth Warren and Bernie Sanders. I don't know how many times I've talked about this over and over again. Those people are not for you. Those people are for them and the people that look like them. I was watching this interview on Dame Dash's, I'm not on Dame Dash podcast. It was on Brother Rich's podcast. A very, very good podcast, by the way. I think it's Black Magic podcast, whatever. Very, very good. And Dame Dash was kind of going in about how people are concentrated on certain things. And, you know, we can't punish these people for what their ancestors did. You're right. But you can equal the playing field. And what they could do is they could change the rules to where native blacks are neck and neck with regular white folk. But they don't want to change those rules. And what happens is, with white people, the dominant society, they know that they're getting white privilege, but they act like they're not getting it. And they're acting like it doesn't help them any. Oh, I had to work hard for it. Well, of course you're going to say that. That's hard work to you. But that's not the trials and tribulations that the average black person goes through every day. And I got love and respect for everything that Dame Dash has done, but it's just a difference of a perspective and opinion and a belief system. It was hard for him growing up, and I'm pretty sure he doesn't look at it that way, and that's not his job to. But I'll just say like this. I am going to hold them accountable, and I will be that person that will keep talking about it, because the Jewish people never let you forget the Holocaust. Period. Point blank. End of discussion. They never let you forget it. So it's so easy for us to be like, oh man, we got to move past that. I'm tired of talking about that. You're right. You're right. Without doing something about it. And here's the thing. The first thing I would say is that we need to start doing is educating ourselves. Reading. There's another book that Jordan Maxwell wrote. I forgot it's in there. I forgot the name of the book. It was a very good book. You know, I forgot he wrote it with this dude. I forgot the other dude. I'm looking for it. I think it's at the back. Hold on. Because I'm reading right now. Yeah, it's called The Old Time Religion, The Story of Religious Foundations by Jordan Maxwell and Paul Tice. Very, very good book. Go read that book. I got that book in there somewhere. Breaks down religions and the different faiths and what they come across. Go read Sex, Symbol, and Stars. That gives you a different perspective on things. And then I would always suggest go read Black Labor, White Wealth. Once you read Black Labor, White Wealth, you're going to be stuck on that. Like, why, man? Why would you say you're going to be stuck on that? Because I feel like this. You'll see how much our labor for free has gotten every other group but us. That's why Pete Buttigieg, along with Joe Biden, along with Bernie Sanders, along with Elizabeth Warren. First of all, Elizabeth Warren said she was a Republican. Now she's a Democrat. That's one. Two, she said she was an Indian when really she was a pretendian. That bullshit. So why would y'all even put stock or inventory in anything that lady has to say? She's going to push whatever agenda is hers so she can be in control of what the narrative is. And she ain't going to give shit to Native blacks. So stop thinking that. I don't know why all these Native black people are jumping behind any political candidate that has not given us a clear-cut vision of what your agenda is for Native black people. Why is it when you start speaking about Native black people and what our restitution is, or restoration is for the forward movement of who we are categorized as pro-black and racist, and I'll say it over and over again. Black people cannot be racist. I don't care what nobody say. Black people cannot be racist. Stop thinking that you can be racist, because that's not how life works. You cannot be racist if you are black in the United States of America, Incorporated. You won't know ships, cakes, boats, pies, nothing. And gain this knowledge, because you got to understand what's going on. Politics translates to corporate America, translates to the stock market, translates to everything else. Everything is affected by politics. I was reading that in the Stock Tip for Dummies book. That's why they always teach you that when you're investing, when you're investing, they always teach you to watch what the politicians say. Watch the rules and laws that they pass, because it is going to affect the stock market. So you got to watch that. That's why politics and stock markets go hand in hand. That's why they legalized marijuana. Now there's a whole bunch of marijuana stock. And they didn't put a whole bunch of niggas in jail. But the thing that trips me out the most about this situation is this. We still ain't waking up and paying attention. As I read this stuff about Pete Buttigieg, and I like to call him Booty Buster, I would say that they're going to prop up whoever they can in front of you to distract you. If you notice, they keep giving you articles about Kobe Bryant, his mother, and anything to distract. Anything to take us off the course of Black History Month. I ain't heard a motherfucker talk about, I ain't seen a Black History commercial yet. But I've seen this Kobe Bryant shit over and over again. I've seen the political bullshit over and over again. But this is our month and we only get 28 days. They ain't yet to talk about it yet. At all. And every time they talk about Kobe, they talk about what a good slave he was to me. Nobody can speak on him personally. I'm waiting to hear the personal stories that does not relate to basketball. Basketball is what he did. That's not who he was. And I think a lot of us think our jobs is who we are. Michael Jordan is probably remarkably the greatest basketball player to ever play the game of basketball. That doesn't mean he's necessarily a good person. That just means he was a great basketball player. You can go work at that corporate plantation and be the greatest worker they ever had, but you could be a fucked up, shitty individual once you get outside those lines of that corporate plantation. You could be a great banker and a shitty person. I think we give the dominant society too much moral integrity, like, oh, they're such integrous people. And no, they're not. They're the most immoral, corrupt, vile, sinister, backbiting people that you'll ever come across in your life. The dominant society is responsible for a lot of the bullshit that's going on right now. Oh, you don't want to go get the flu shot? Let me make a call. Oh, we got the coronavirus? No problem. Send that shit in. Oh, they go get the flu shot. That's a fact. By any means necessary. So while you thinking, oh man, shit. Oh, well, we'll start changing the laws. Everybody's getting that shit. Agenda 21 will go through. Population control. Everybody looks at Bill Gates as if he's some god, man. Fuck Bill Gates. Bill Gates has the most unethical monopoly I've ever seen. You can't even cut on a computer without Microsoft. Period. You don't think that was by design? Come on, man. And then you have the influence on, okay, well, we're going to do it this way. Him and Warren Buffett, we're going to do it this way. Nobody thinks that's by design? I remember when the market crashed in 2008, Warren Buffett was still dumping billions of dollars into GE, but he was getting so much incentives back for dumping that money into it. Now he don't deal with it no more. See, I just think we don't pay attention to it because anybody that caters to our ego, we automatically behind them. You better start taking stock and inventory of what the fuck they saying. Like that one girl said, I was looking at it on my phone while she said, oh yeah, half the shit that's in hip hop is lies. And I said, wow, that's great. I'm glad she said that. Hold on, let me see. I'm looking for it right now. They probably ain't gonna have it on here. But that's exactly what she said. Dang, I can't find it. But she said something about half the stuff in hip hop is lies. They don't have guns and all that. But you see how quick the dominant society can come in and call your shit out? But you can't go on country and you can't go and rock and roll and start calling out they bullshit. You'll be ousted. It's so funny how we allow people like Tekashi Snitch 9 to come amongst us and black, this black, yeah, black, and then, oh, I'm arrested. I Latino. I don't know nothing. I Latino. But let me dress up in a sombrero with a big hat and get a guitar with the little bells and got my boots on and get to singing ay, and making fun of they shit. You know how many Mexicans would be at my fucking doorstep? You know how many Latinos would be like, hey, what the fuck you doing? But our culture is the only culture where people could come along amongst us, take a shit right where we eat and make us clean it up and laugh at us for cleaning it up. We don't care about us. We care about them and what they think about us. And you're like, why you say that? Because if we didn't, things would start changing. People would start, her name is Billie Eilish. She called out hip hop saying it's a bunch of lies. Bitch, that ain't your place to call out hip hop. And as you're calling out hip hop, I'm calling out racism and white supremacy and white privilege and white fragility. And I'm calling out all these necessary evils that everybody acts like it's not going on, but it is. And that's what I think is funny. That's why when I read articles like, Buttigieg is making progress and all this other stuff, it's all about Buttigieg. It's all about him. And Bernie Sanders and all this other shit, man, fuck Bernie Sanders. Bernie Sanders voted for the Jews to get reparations. Then when you ask this motherfucker about Native blacks, I think it should be in a form of education. Oh, so now it's in the form of, so when it comes to us, it's in the form of education. But when it comes to the Jewish community, you giving them the money. So peel me, nigga. I need the yams. I'm like Martin. I need the yams, man. I don't got time for no education and bullshit ass government jobs and voting down some ballot. Fuck voting down the ballot. For what? What you gonna get? Dr. Claude Anderson teaches us about voting. Vote for what? What are you getting? Quid pro quo. Something for something. So leverage your power that you have. So don't just be no suck-ass motherfucker going out there voting. You don't even know what the fuck you voting for. You just vote because our ancestors died. Well, our ancestors were misinformed. Facts. And that's the problem. Because we feel in our heart like, oh, well, no, it's not supposed to be like that. And no. You know, man, get the fuck out of here. Let's just give him some time. Look at the Super Bowl. You saw J-Lo. They brung out the Puerto Rican flag. Then I'm seeing the Bronx Girls Magic. But it's so funny how 15, 16, 17 years ago, when Murder, Inc. was hot, Native blacks was hot with Ashanti, and Ashanti's writing all those songs and singing background for you, you saying nigga in the song with Ja Rule. And I'm real and doing songs with Fabulous and all this other shit, and, you know, bopping your head like niggas and shit, right? Now, you looking at the wave. Oh, it's about Latinos? Oh, I Latina. So now, yeah, you Jenny from the block, but you Latina now. Not Afro-Latina, just Latina. And then you get on TV at the Super Bowl, and then you do something interesting. You have your daughter on there, and then you got the Puerto Rican flag, and y'all walking around there. And I said, wow. Now, not only is this Black History Month, I didn't see any Black history up there. But I saw a whole bunch of Caucasians and people in military. But these are just the symbolisms that we don't see. Because what they'll do is they are blood suckers of culture, energy, money, everything. Land, wealth, resources. And they have masterminded a plan to get everybody else that's not a native black to hate us and smile with us and come amongst us so they can get our algorithm. That's why a lot of times I see everybody wants to be a producer. So Khalees, now you want to talk shit about Pharrell and the Neptunes. You want to talk shit about Nas. First of all, let me tell you something. I'm going to give you my perspective on Khalees. Or Khalees. First of all, I thought she made good music because of the Neptunes, which they wrote and produced the songs. That's one. Two, I remember there used to be shows on MTV in the 90s. in the early 2000s, but in the 90s, where they would be at this like big mansion house. And they would have people like Bill Bellamy hosted, Cisco hosted. They'd have like dance competitions, and they'd have celebrity judges. And I remember it's a fun thing. You know, you're not too harsh, it's just fun. Khalees was the only one being an asshole as a judge. Go look it up on YouTube. I forgot what it was like, dance something on MTV. They used to have like dance shows. Cisco used to host a show where you used to just dance, and they play music, and Cisco would go around and ask you questions. And then they would have people come up and dance or perform. It'd be like spring break something. I forgot what the names of them are, but it was in the 90s. Man, they had Khalees come on there a couple of times, and she was just an asshole. And just being mean. And I just was like, her music is great, but I don't like this bitch. Then I'm like, she's a funky ass bitch right here. She was just being mean and rude. So now to see her say, oh, Nas, he physically abused me. Oh, God. Nas, come on, you know what you was doing. You want to put Nas and every black man in the same category. See, that's doing the bidding of racism and white supremacy. And let me tell you, after you left the Neptunes, your shit wasn't that hot. And that's a fact. Because I had those albums. I had the albums with the Neptunes, and I had them without. They weren't that great. But that's what happens. They get people like Oprah. I like that letter that Monique wrote to Oprah. Very, very good letter. Like, why? Because she called that bitch out on her shit. Oprah is a fake, phony, Sambo, Hayward Shepherd ass bitch who ain't got nothing better to do than to do the bidding of the dominant society. You call on everybody but Harvey Weinstein. That's your boy. Call his ass out. Call him to the floor. You're not going to call him to the floor because that's your boy. You're not going to call David Geffen and all these other racist motherfuckers that you hang with. See, that's the problem. See, the dominant society knows. Do you want to live good? Or you want to live like the rest of those niggas? Just like everybody caping for Allison Morris. Well, it sounds like she said Nakers. Go back and look at my podcast. And I talked about Wanda Sykes and all them talking about, well, she didn't know. The bitch said Los Angeles niggers. And I don't give a fuck what nobody said. You can act like she didn't say it. I know what the bitch said. But that's the problem. We're caping. We're so quick to defend them. But we won't defend our own. Take this same energy when y'all going at Pastor Troy, because he talking about his son ain't going to be gay, and calling out Lil Nas X and all them, and because they want niggas to basically just wear a dress and be a bitch. That's what they want. And if you don't do that, you're looked at as, oh, how dare you? Nigga, what? Now, where the fuck is the goddamn LBGTQ LMNOZ at when Trayvon Martin got killed? When Oscar Grant got killed? When Philando Castile got killed? When Mike Brown got killed? When Alton Sterling got killed? When Sandra Bland got killed? When Freddie Gray got killed? Where were all these people at then? You're not going to see these people because they don't give a fuck. All these little reparations that the LGBTQ, why don't you share that shit with Native blacks? But they not. See, that's why I always tell people, study. Don't just be talking off what you heard, study. See, I did my studying. That's why I don't like to get into it with people about religion. Like, especially when they be like, oh, come to my church. My church got to teach. And I'll be like, yeah. And how much tithes am I going to have to pay? And how many offerings do they collect at the church? How many building funds do they fucking have? How many barbecues and car washes? And where the fuck is that money going? And what are y'all doing to empower black people at this church? Besides telling them that Jesus said it. Then when you start asking those questions, oh, see, man, that's hateful, man. No. So I don't want to hear that shit. That's why when motherfuckers come to me with that, I'll be like, nah, I don't want to hear that. It's not what I want to hear. And I don't need to hear that. And most of y'all don't need to hear that. If you go into a church and all they teach you is Jesus said it and the Bible this and Jesus said this and no, he that he was and he is God, oh, that's fine. And then ask, so who wrote this? Who wrote this book? So we're going to take the word on King James, right? That he was talking directly to Mary, Moses, Jesus, all of them. or was it transcribed? And how do we know that this writing that's in red is what Jesus was really saying? How do we know that this story is the only story? Why are we not talking about the Dead Sea Scrolls, the ancient Egyptian Book of the Dead? Why are we not talking about these other religions, how the story is being told? That's why I don't even like talking to people about religion, because I'll just be laughing at their ass. Because somebody gonna come get you when you die, right? Man, religion is meant to bind. Go look at the etymology of religion. That's why when people come to me with that bullshit, I just be like, I don't even say nothing. I'm not disrespectful. I just don't say nothing. If that's what you feel like you need in your path, go ahead and do it. But I prefer you study and not just read the Bible and just take that word for it. Because a lot of us being so caught up in religion is the reason why we go out and go vote for people that have no interest in you and don't want to do anything for you. Pete Buttigieg and the rest of those democratic nominees have no interest in even moving the needle one iota for Native blacks. Period. They don't respect us and they don't care. So what we need to start doing is leveraging your vote. Come together. But before you start putting your resources together, we got to start studying. Start reading. Reading is fundamental. I have not read a whole bunch of books, but let me tell you, I've read enough to look, like I tell y'all, if you read Black History Reader by Dr. Claude Anderson, you read the ISIS Papers by Dr. Frances Wilson, Black Labor, White Wealth, Powernomics, and then I'll say The Compensatory Counter-Racist Code of Ethics. You read that, or swap that out. You can go read Slavery by Another Name. You go read The Burglary. Just go read one of those books. If you read 5 of those books in any particular order, it's going to change your mind. It's going to change your mentality. You're going to look at things a lot differently. And then you can add books like Think Like a Millionaire. You can add other books. But I'm telling you, do the research for yourself. Don't take Moore's word for it. If you believe you going to heaven and you got to do good because you want to get into heaven when you die, then be down. But if you want to know how far the rabbit hole goes, I suggest you go read this book, Matrix of Power by Jordan Maxwell. Very good book. It's helped me a lot. It has confirmed some of my theories that I already had growing up in religion, and just taking one person's word for it. And first of all, no diss to nobody's religion, but if your religion's only been around for 100 years, versus Islamic faith, you know what I mean? And if your religion is a paradigm of a major religion, I don't know. I'm like Eminem when he freestyle. But anyway, I digress. Appreciate everybody listening and subscribing. I'm Warren G in the place to be. Been clowning sucker free since 2003. Shout out to my nigga Leo. I made you up. Derek, there's all y'all niggas. Northbound. Much love, respect to y'all. My family. Them niggas is all that work. Trust me. Because that's where normally I would be if I'm not here. That's a fact. Love and live life. Hey, man, I'm out. Guilty, niggas. Peace.